will be available. 4 years course will be 4 years course.
It's halfway through President Bola Tinubu's 4-year tenure, and Nigerians, especially students and tutors, have been assessing the promises made by the president to strengthen the education sector. For some Nigerians, particularly students, the sector has not fared well under Tinubu's administration in the past 2 years.
The school had to increase the bills and everything. Normally, someone that I know that was in 100 level before, she was paying at less than 150,000. I paid over 200,000, apart from departmental fees and everything. So I feel the whole thing, him coming in, the currency we use, apart from Naira depreciating, so I feel he needs to invest more in education, because if you want the country to be good, at least the educational aspect has to be very, very strong.
I've not seen any nice change, because it's still the same. There's no they don't innovate the faculties, nothing like that. Everything is still the same as it was before. Even now, the online class stuff, they are even increasing the school fees. I was not seeing the effect yet. So I don't. If the hostel fees they've tripled it now, and the hostels they still look, even they've innovated it, but it still kind of looks the same than before.
For several years, the education sector has been getting allocation of less than 10% of the national budget. In 2025, it has received 3.52 trillion naira, which is about 7.3% of the year's funding. Experts believe these need to change.
Lecturers are badly paid, not only at the tertiary level, but also primary and secondary levels. They were badly paid. It's important that government that desire to have, to develop growth and development must ensure that more funds are given to the education sector and even the health sector.
The United Nations recommended that nations allocate at least 20% of their national budget to achieve universal, inclusive and equitable education for all by 2030, a target the Minister of Education says the country is working tirelessly to achieve.
In rehabilitating accredited institutions, 15 billion naira investment in building hostels, like a new hostel of each of these institutions.
Nigeria's inflation rate, according to the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics for 2023, is at 25.8%, unemployment at 4.1%, and over 70 million Nigerians suffering from extreme poverty. These have adversely affected the education system, which currently have over 10 million out-of-school children, and a funding challenge that affects those in schools.
When they do annual school census, they don't count children in the non-approved schools. So UNESCO count them as out-of-school children. That's for Lagos, the South. When you go to the North, children attend Alimajiri school. They attend Shangaya school. Because they are not attending conventional schools, they don't count them. So, at the end of the day, an average number of children that are schooling in a state, they are rated as out of school. Why? Because they don't have their data.
However, the running of federal government secondary schools, otherwise known as unity schools, solely rely on the government. While many have complained about the deplorable state of these schools, the government thinks otherwise.
Because of the complaint we have had, we have put it in the budget a lot of money, 60 to 80 billion for the renovation of our federal unity colleges, and this will soon implement once we start implementing the budget. All our unity colleges, 100 plus that we have, are going to be renovated.
Funding remains a major challenge for tertiary institutions in Nigeria, affecting the provision of critical infrastructure required for learning, particularly power supply. Last year, several universities could not pay their electricity bills. In August 2024, the Eco Electricity Distribution Company disconnected the University of Lagos after it failed to pay almost 500 million naira electricity debt.
Universities, government cannot fund you. Go out and find IGR to sustain your system. Then the same government comes back and says, yes, you are helping us to take care of our children, but we are going to put you on the highest tariff that exists in the land.
Several tertiary institutions have resorted to alternative sources of funding, placing a higher burden on students as fees skyrocketed by 100% in many cases. The result of that have been protests in parts of the country by students to kick against the increases in fees.
If somebody doesn't feel comfortable, or if he or she feels that he or she is not is paying more than what he or she bargained for, then he or she can actually protest.
Despite severe funding shortfalls, the Tinubu administration has continued to establish new educational institutions made up of 22 new universities, 33 new polytechnics and monotechnics, with 12 colleges of education according to JAMB. Prompting the question, does the approval of 65 new institutions solve the problem of access to tertiary institutions in Nigeria?
For access and political gain, I think government should look into the direction of what type of institution. We should be looking at citing specialized institutions based on the comparative advantage of each area.
In addition, finding lecturers to teach in these institutions remain a major challenge, especially in the face of the mass resignation of lecturers from Nigeria's tertiary institutions.
Category of young lecturers are now abroad. All of them. All. So, the implication is clear. The university system in Nigeria is in crisis. There will be no succession. Because even those we are teaching now don't even want to come back to the system. So the system is going to collapse very soon.
Besides the establishment of new institutions, the student loan scheme is a major policy of President Tinubu that is touted to address the issue of access to tertiary education. However, the policy has come under scrutiny over alleged irregularities.
The government was very much interested in coming up with this policy and in scoring political point and in ensuring that there's a box that has already been ticked with respect to the achievement of the administration. And that's why we are seeing the crisis that has bedeviled the student loan scheme.
Education remains one of the key factors that drive economic growth. Nigerians are watching to see how the policies by the Tinubu-led administration will reposition the country's educational system for global competition. In Lagos, for News Central, Omolola, Ololade.